Hello Mabels, Mr. Kempin's Talking Head is back again. Okay, today I'm going to be talking to you about the path for the future. Now, the future is a big, strong term, and that's a worrying concept, and I can't go into that. But I can talk to you about the big decisions you're going to have to make over the next few years of your school career and slightly beyond. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. So we're going to look at GCSEs and option subjects and option choices. We're going to look at what to do after GCSEs, so A-levels, BTechs, or something else called apprenticeships. We're going to look at universities, and then we're going to look at a couple of other things and a couple other concepts. So let's start with the next big decision you've got to make, GCSEs. These are the option subjects that you're going to choose. When you're looking at GCSEs, you've got to choose what subjects to study. Now, some are compulsory, some are optional. And some of that comes down to current policy. The big current policy is EBacc. So there's a selection of subjects that you should be studying. The intention behind this is to give you a well-rounded education. So you're not just 100% concentrating on that one subject area. You understand a wide range of things to give you a bit of versatility. And there's a lot of benefit in that. The downside to it is you don't always get to study all the subjects you want to study. And you might be studying a subject that you're not as passionate about. But we're going to look at some of these concepts, and we're going to explain the relevance of it and the importance of it. We'll look at your core subjects first off. Well, this is your 2 English, your maths, and your 2 science. So we have the science double award, your English literature, English language, and your maths separate. Well, these are your core basic subjects. Everyone agrees these are important. One of my biggest weaknesses with regards to my own education is English. I really struggle with English. I know that I'm making a video for the people that can already tell me more about English literature and English language, or either, to be fair, than I know combined. It's always been a big flaw for me and a big weakness. I've struggled with it. If I'd been better at it, mainly through effort, there are some other difficulties I have with it, but if I put in more effort to trying harder, I would have had a much easier time and a lot less difficulty over the last 15 or 20 years than I have had. So more effort then, a lot less effort throughout. So yes, English is so important. Not just can you read and write, but can you understand what's being written? Can you figure out the wording being used if it's a word that you're not familiar with? This is so important. Whether you're writing proposals for a company, reading something from a client or from another colleague, understanding the information being given to you, it doesn't matter. This is so important for you to be able to do well at all times. It's not one of them things you can just, I've forgotten how to do this, I'll quickly Google it. This needs to be natural to you. And from the side of an employer, having an employee that can communicate in text eloquently, fluently, and efficiently, it's invaluable because it makes such a big difference to that company's image and your personal image within that company. If you're solo and you're not working for a company, you're working for yourself, then you need to look professional. And if you're sending out emails with poor grammar, spelling mistakes, even incorrectly used words, that's going to look terrible to companies you're trying to work with, clients. It's so important. Anyone that wants to go into journalism, it's really important. Law, psychology, the mass amounts of text you've got to be able to comprehend and understand at a really high level. Without these skills, they're impossible. So you've got to be working on this one now. English is a must. Your understanding of science, well, that's so important. I personally am an avid enthusiast for understanding science. Our current global pandemic is an example of that. If you understand even basic science, then it helps you, navigate your way around a lot of misinformation that's out there. It helps you understand what's being said. It helps you understand what's going on. Physics, chemistry, and biology. Having this access to education, especially for the sciences, it helps towards you actually having a good understanding about the whole world. So it is important. Maths is always one of my fun subjects. I've always loved maths. I find it almost relaxing, recreational. It's fun for me, maths problems. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I do enjoy it. It's a puzzle, it's a challenge. And I've always been a lot more comfortable around maths. And it's probably why I've felt a lot more comfortable in engineering, because it's so heavily maths based. But being able to understand GCSE level maths is really, really important. Not just, oh, here's a weird equation, but we use these equations all the time in real life. It's just not written down in a formula. Whether you're looking at a mortgage application or just understanding your paycheck, what percentage is going to tax, what percentage of your earnings are being taxed, how to calculate a tax code. These are really, really valuable skills. And it's just GCSE level maths. It's why it's at that level. It's so you can understand it. So that's going to help you. And then when you're looking at higher level stuff, so you want to look at a mortgage application, or if you're going into the property market, your business, you need to look at earnings. What's your percentage on this? What's your earnings on that? What interest rate you're going to charge or being charged? This all comes down to understanding these mathematical principles. If you can understand and apply this to your real world life, it makes life a lot easier. For one, you're not relying on an advisor that you're paying to explain it to you. You can understand it. You can look at the paperwork, you can look at the figures and go, oh, actually, that's not a good deal, but that's a really good deal. And you haven't got to pay someone a commission fee to tell you that. So again, maths is important for everyday life. But when you took an employment, maths is so important. You handle money in any job. Your employer wants you to be able to be reliable with that and understand it. And as a slight aside, when you get into the workplace, there are two things that, other than your experience and your expertise from wherever that's come from, you're going to be judged on. And those are, firstly, your maths and English past GCSE, i.e. do you have a pass at maths and English in GCSE? And your most relevant qualification at the highest level. So whether that's, okay, well, within this area, your most relevant qualification is your A level in this, or your degree in that, or your level 4 MVQ in. So they'll judge you on those two things as well as your experiences. So straight off the bat, you need a GCSE in maths and English. And to be fair, you need to stand out. You need to have those higher level grades to stand out. When you break away from the core subjects though, you've got the other option subjects. And generally you have some choices within these. Some you won't, such as RS. Within our school, RS is compulsory. And whether you're interested in it or not is irrelevant. I personally do agree that it being compulsory is important. The more you understand about other people's cultures, other people's beliefs and religions, how they think and why they think and make the decisions that they do, the better prepared you will be to work with them, to help them, to deal with them, to work for them, have them as clients, be their client. It doesn't matter what the scenario is, it's going to make it easier. If you don't understand why someone has an opinion or made a decision that they made, this could be the reason why. And understanding their belief structure can help with that. It can avoid a lot of conflict, which is so useful in life in general, but especially in the workplace. Conflict in the workplace can be soul destroying. So at the expense of one GCSE, it's really quite valuable. And the more tolerant we are as a culture, as a community, the better things are for everyone. So that I always stick by that. I think it's a firm believer. After that though, it gets into the trickier decisions. So language, you've got to choose a language. After English, it is my worst subject. I cannot speak another language, definitely not fluently. I can't hold a conversation in another language. I'm still struggling to speak English. So I've always regretted not being able to speak a second language. I know so many people that do and can, and they hold fluent conversations. A friend of mine from school spent a year in Germany as part of her degree speaking fluent German. I was so jealous that she got to do that, because I still can't hold a basic conversation in German or any other language. It's something I've always regretted, and I am working on it. I am trying to pick up stuff. I am trying to learn another language, but it's slow. It's not impossible. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying I can't do it yet, and I'm working on getting there. But, you know, for me, it's difficult, and the older you are, the harder it is. So right now is when you should be doing this. Right now is when you should be jumping on board and really running at it, going, okay, how do I get better at this? Because so many opportunities can open up to you. It could be that there's a job opening up in a foreign country, but you need to be able to speak that language just to interview for it, let alone for work there. It could be that you're working for a company and they need you to go and spend 3, 6, 9 months over in that country. Brilliant. If you've got the language, you're sorted. It could be that just you get a new client from that country and they need someone that can communicate with them. Well, if you can speak that language, jump at it. That then makes you a more valuable person to that company because you are the liaison with those clients. That can open up so many doors and possibilities and opportunities for you. It might be that you don't have any of those opportunities, but you can go on holiday there. That makes life a bit easier, doesn't it? Or you might bump into someone and they need your help. You can be the person to help someone. I know some people watching this, a couple maybe, might be interested in going into translation and linguistics. Actually being able to be a translator. Not something I could ever do, but well done to those that can. I know 2 students in the past that have done that. So it's brilliant. It's an opportunity. So don't just scoff at it, go for it. Again, remember, the EBacc is about a balanced education, being able to do a whole range of things. Because the last thing you want is to be pigeonholed at your age and that all you're allowed to do is this one subject. Have a go at everything. You never know. You might be good at it. You might like it. After that, we now get a little bit murkier. So you've got your humanities subjects. Often the choice is between geography and history. When I was at school, I could only take one of those subjects. It was a one or the other. You're in that lucky position where you can take one within this one and take the other one as another option later on. So if you can't decide, take both. Take both. You have to do one of them. So pick the one that you are most comfortable with, the most confident with, the one that you may be best at or maybe most enjoy. And then you get down to that, okay, what's next? Well, you're left with 2 options. Some of you, I'm speaking to, will want your separate science qualifications. A separate biology, separate chemistry, separate physics. That's one of your options gone. It's a lot of extra work, but for some of you that might be valuable. And then you're down to 1. And then all the other subjects, my subject particular, DT, art, PE, all those other subjects are going to be vying for you, as well as the subjects we've already spoken about, your other languages, your other humanities, wanting you to do their other options. And they're all going to turn around and say that they are the most important, they should be your choice, they should be the one that you're going for. Even me, don't listen to them. Pick the subject that appeals to you. Ask the questions, and I will tell you honestly what the relevance is with my subject, and that'll be when it's time for my subject. But is it relevant to you? The best subject for you is not the best subject on a bit of paper. The best subject for you is the best subject for you. So think about what it is you want, which is going to lead us into that next, well, how do I choose? If you know already what you want to do for a living in 10, 15, 20 years time, easy, you should know the path. If you say, sir, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. Okay, that's right. You need to be able to do this, and this. You need to pass this qualification, this qualification, this qualification. You need these subjects. You need to sit these tests. Crack on. If you don't know, haven't got a clue, like most people, well, what do you choose? The next thing I'm going to say is controversial. Does it matter? Does it matter what subject you study at GCSE? Or does it matter what grade you get? My personal belief is the second one. Yes, take a subject you enjoy. That's always my advice. Take the subject you enjoy. Not for a bit of fun, but take a subject that's got some value in it to you that you find enjoyable, purely because you're more likely to put in some passion and some effort and some enthusiasm. Take the subject you will work hard at, even when it gets difficult. And that's my first advice always. But what's more important is the grade you get. I don't know of any specific scenarios where if you don't have a GCSE in something, you cannot go further with it. There may be the occasional example out there, but hopefully you'll be able to do some research prior to decisions. But most of the time, as long as you've got good grades in subjects, it opens the doors to you. And sometimes you'll have to do something, maybe a little bit of workaround course or a little bit of an add-on. But most of the time, you're all right. It's more about the grades, because the grades show your ability to learn, your effort levels. Not just, oh, he studied that or she studied that subject. Oh, this person, they spent 2 years doing that. They didn't quite get the grade that we wanted, but they spent 2 years doing it. So it is important. However, there's a caveat to everything I've just said there, and that's with the following courses. So after GCSE, you will have to choose, are you going to do A-levels, BTech alternatives, or possibly an apprenticeship? There are a few other courses out there, but the UK law has changed since I was at school. When I was at school, I could have left at 16 and got a job. You have to be in some form of education, an accredited course, till you're 18. So most people will do the traditional A-levels. They might do college courses or BTech courses, and they're available in a whole range of subjects. You name it, there's going to be a course out there for it. And there's also apprenticeships. And I'm going to come back to apprenticeships in a little while. I'm going to talk about this first and university first. And it'll be clear why. A-level subjects generally have criteria to get onto. So that's something you want to look at. If you know there's a specific A-level you want to do, or a series of A-levels you want to do, you need to know the prerequisite requirements to get onto that course. So I can speak from DT, from my experience. We teach and deliver the DTA level. To get onto the DTA level, you need to have studied and achieved a specific grade in GCSE DT. Without that, the loss of learning is too great, and it would take you too long and too much time to recover all of that GCSE level knowledge as well as the A-level knowledge. So there are prerequisites for some courses. Some, there are none. Some, there are significant. You can't not get the required grade in maths or English and then expect to be on an A-level maths or English course. There's a lot of risk there and a lot of extra learning to really pick up, and that's difficult, very difficult to do. So you do need to think about this when it comes to your GCSE choices, but think carefully. If there's a specific course you want to do, then yes, you need the prior qualification for it. If there's not, and there's no prerequisites, then that puts you in a better stead for GCSE. And that's more about the grades than the course. But do you take A-levels? Well, A-levels, people's perception of them is that they're more academic, mainly because there's a big exam at the end. The alternative is BTech's, available in a wide variety of subjects, slightly more vocational in the sense that it's more modular based, often a bit more coursework. Well, if that suits you, brilliant. If that's the subject you want to do, brilliant. They're worth the same thing, providing you get the correct levels they're worth the same thing. So A levels are level 3 qualifications. So are level 3 BTechs. A level 3 BTech is equivalent to a level 3 A level. Often a BTech will be combined with other subjects to be a combined BTech, and then you'll get a level 3 BTech equivalent to a certain number of A levels. These are options out there. You don't have to always choose the same path that everyone else does. Choose the path that's right for you. Don't take the easy path though. Come on, I think I've told you that one already. So that's the next step, A levels. And you're going to have these whole choices again. In this time though, the question, does it matter what subjects you choose? Well, yes, this one will matter. Because with the A levels, these are more specialist. And even with the BTechs, it's still more specialist. So it does matter what subjects you're doing, as well as the grade you're getting. You've also then got to choose where. Now, we're lucky in our school that we've got a sixth form as part of our school. So you haven't got to go anywhere new if you don't want to, and we offer the subjects you want to do. Brilliant. Happy days. What if we don't? So then you've got to look at other providers. It could be that there's another school that has a sixth form that offers the A levels or courses you want to do. It could be that there's a college, a sixth form college that offers it. You need to look at what's out there. You need to look at what's right for you. Yes, we would love you to stay as part of our school community, but I'm not going to tell you you have to. I'm going to tell you to do what's right for you. And if what's right for you is going somewhere else, then that's what's right for you. After the level 3 qualifications, got university. Now, I know many of the people I'm speaking to on this will want to go to university. Some will be unsure, some might not want to. That's fine. But should you go to university? Well, it depends what you want to study. So I've got 3 questions about university. What to study, where to study, and when to study. And these are the 3 questions that I get asked. So I want to go to university, but I don't know what subject to do. I don't know what university to go to. I don't know if I should take a year out or not. The answer to that is entirely up to you. If you know what career you want, then that's going to really help you. If you know you want to go to a type of university, that's going to help you. The term Russell Group gets bandied around a lot. They're 24 of the most prominent universities in our country, and their reputation holds a lot of sway. And the reputation of a university can be just as important as the qualification and course you're doing. But make sure you're getting the qualification first. Don't go to a university purely based on reputation of that university if it's not the best university for that course. So a lot of this is going to come down to your opinion. And when you decide what course or courses you're interested in, you'll go visit these universities. You'll have a look. And you might get that instant, oh my God, I want to be here moment. That feeling of this is where I belong for the next 3 to 4 years. You might get that feeling of this isn't me. Both are fine. Both are great. Because both tell you something. Yes or no. So go and have a look at them. Even if you don't know you want to go to university or not. You're like, oh, I'm unsure. Go have a look. Cost you a day. Go have a look. Because it might actually persuade you either way. It might go, actually, you know what? No, I don't want this. I know what I want to do. Or it might be that, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I wanted this. So go and have a look at it. Look into it. And look into it now. Don't wait 3-4 years. Have a look now. Just online, of course. Don't be going to visiting universities. They might get a little bit confused. But have a look online. Look at what courses universities have to offer. And by the time you get there, there will be new courses or different courses, or courses will have changed. Be aware of it. It's important because it can help you make the decisions before that. If you know that there's a course out there that you really want to do, well, that means you can tailor the GCSEs and A levels that you're going to study to help you get there. Play the system a little bit. So that's university. Oh, other than the question when. Now, there's always this, do I take a gap year or not? Okay, that's up to you. If it helps you make a decision up or helps you get through that phase, go for it. Me, myself, I didn't go to university at 18. I was 23 when I started university. I'm now going to throw in my experiences. If I go right back to GCSE, and I've told you already that I didn't have much of a choice between what subjects I chose. I was supposed to get A's and B's across the board. I was lucky enough to do my maths GCSE a year early. In my school, we had more levels of maths qualifications back then with regards to GCSE, so you could sit different rates of paper rather than higher or lower. There's an intermediate paper as well, and that enabled me to get a B a year early. The school's plan was for me and my classmates to sit the higher paper the following year and hopefully get A's and A stars. My opinion was a little bit different. I kind of said, well, I've got a GCSE in maths now. Can I concentrate on my other subjects I'm struggling in? There was a yes and no argument, which was mainly no. And that's when my effort levels drops in all subjects. Yep, I threw a hissy fit, I had a tantrum, and I stopped trying. Not big, not clever, not proud of it. Okay, I'm in an okay place now, but where could I have been if I'd got A's and B's in all my subject rather than C's and D's? I got 3 B's, some C's and D's. For equivalent sake for you guys, that's 3 6s and a smattering of 3s, 4s and 5s. I'm not proud of that. I should have done a lot better than that. A lot better. And that then put me in a bad position for sixth form. Now, my school didn't have a sixth form. I went to sixth form college. I couldn't do some of the courses I wanted to do. The only course I could have guaranteed to get on was maths. When it came down to choosing the subjects, I didn't choose the subjects I should have done. I didn't put in the effort to think about it. I chose the subjects that other people were choosing. I chose the subjects that sounded fun. I didn't enjoy them. I'd done my first year, got my ASs, and left. My ASs were dreadful. The results were nowhere near as good as I should have been getting, nowhere near as good as I could have got if I'd tried. I left. I then went and joined the military. I spent 6 years in the Royal Navy. Second I walked in and joined up as an engineer, everything changed. I discovered that engineering was what I wanted to do. I'd always known I liked engineering, but I'd never considered it as a career. And then I'd done my engineering apprenticeship with the Royal Navy. Now, I got, through my apprenticeship, a foundation degree accredited by a university. It's the equivalent to the first 2 years of a degree. When I left the Royal Navy, I realised that I could commute this into university, and I was invited by a university to go straight into the 3rd year, the final year of a mechanical engineering degree, and I spent 1 year at university and I got a full degree because I already had the first 2 years from my apprenticeship. So for me, that apprenticeship was so valuable. So valuable. It got me straight in through those first 2 years of stuff that I could have done blindfolded and smashed it out. And here's where my effort changed. Throughout my foundation degree in my apprenticeship, I maintained I think 79% average. Throughout my 1 year university, I maintained a 76% average. That got me a first class degree. You can't get much better than that. I don't think you can get better than that at degree level. So that wasn't down to me being a show off or me just going, oh, it's easy. No, it wasn't. It was difficult. There was revision involved. There was learning. There was effort. There was sleepless nights. Sorry, it happens. There was a lot of hard work that went into that. And while I was at university, there was no going out partying every night for me. I allowed myself one social evening a week and I wasn't drinking. I was older. I was 23. Older than most of the other students on my course. I was alright with that. They could go out and have fun. They could do 18, 19, 20-year-old stuff. I didn't need to do it. I'd done it when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. So I could actually concentrate. And I did. I concentrated. I worked myself silly. And I got the qualification I wanted out of it. And I was happy with that. I was proud of that. So that's where I went. That was my path. It's not a conventional path. And it's not the path most people take. And I'm not saying it's the path for you either. It's the path that I went through. And it's not directly the one I chose. It's the kind of one I fell into. But I'm really, really happy that I did. So where do you go after or instead of university? Well, we've spoken about BTechs and vocational courses, but there's also apprenticeships. And I've left apprenticeships till last because apprenticeships aren't just one course. It's a variety of subjects at a variety of different levels. So you've got your intermediate level apprenticeships. These are the same as a GCSE grade. There might be worth a number of GCSE grades, but it's the same level. You've got your advanced apprenticeships. Now these are equivalent to an A level. These are your level 3 qualifications. These are equivalent to an A level or a selection of A levels. So when you complete one of these courses, you actually get that qualification. You've got your higher level degrees. Now these are above A level, but maybe a little bit below a degree or the very, very bottom end of degree. You won't get any degree accreditation for it, but if you're looking at finishing your degree, even via Open University or distance learning, it can definitely help you. And then there's degree level apprenticeships, and that's what I've done. I've done a foundation degree, which is the first 2 years of the degree, level 5, level 6. That's degree level apprenticeships. And these are often part of a course to give you a full accreditation with a degree and can go further. It can be postgraduate level 7. So that's when you're looking at your master's degrees or any postgraduate certification. And you might think also, when do I need this? Well, actually, I've got that. I had to get that. PGCE, my postgraduate certificate in education. That gave me the ability to teach. Teachers need a PGCE. So I had to go and do a PGCE course for it. That's not going to sit in a classroom. It can be done that way, but I done on-the-job training instead, more apprenticeship style. It wasn't an apprenticeship, but an apprenticeship style. So this is the apprenticeship options. And a lot of you are thinking, okay, well, if it's the same as a degree, or if it's the same as a GCSE, or same as an A level, why should I be thinking about it? Well, there's two benefits in my mind to it. And this will only apply to some of you. One is it's on-the-job training. You get the experience that goes with it. And it might take you a little bit longer as well. Full disclosure, it will take you longer. They aren't done in the same period of time because you're working at the same time. But you're working at the same time. That means you're getting paid. For me, that was phenomenal. I was getting paid a bit more than I should have been, really, considering what I was doing for doing half a degree. I was really happy with that. Happy days. Some of you, though, you won't want that. If it takes you longer to get into that dream job that you've got your eye on, you'll want the quicker route, which would be the A levels in university. For some of you, none of this is relevant. You've got your plan of what you want to do. Brilliant. My advice, though, is to have a backup plan. A number of things could change. The career you want might not be as lucrative or as appealing to you in a few years' time. The career you want might not exist in a few years' time. Or something else might come along that's more appealing to you. Or, like me, you could have a career change. I put all that effort into engineering within my apprenticeship in the Royal Navy, and then I was no longer in the Royal Navy. And I'd think, well, what do I do with these skills? I could have gone and retrained as something completely different and irrelevant, started again from scratch. But I just transferred what I was doing to another area. Now, I was lucky that I could do that. Engineering is quite closely related to design technology, so I had that ability. Not all of you will get that. So Have a backup plan. Have something else you can go down, a side avenue. You never know, you might enjoy it. You might be thinking, well, what have I got to do then? Well, you need to investigate. You need to be aware of what the options are for you, what the opportunities are out there. You need to go out and actually have a look. You can do it a lot online for now if you want, but you need to actually have a look. Okay? That is important. Have a look at what the options are. Just so you can be ticking over in the back of your mind what's going on. You need to put in the effort now to get yourself ready for it. If you know you want to do these A-level courses, let's get the GCSEs. If you know you want to get into them GCSE subjects, let's get the learning started now. And most importantly, for apprenticeships, there's an interview process. For university, there's an application process. For jobs, well, you'll know about that. You need experience, evidence. You need something to make you stand out. If there's a subject that you're passionate about, if there's an area you're passionate about, start working on it now. Get that evidence built up there. Be filling out the application years before you have to. It's better to be at the point where you should be thinking, what do I cut out of my application? Not what do I put into it? Get yourself ready for it. I know this has been a longer video, guys. I am very sorry for boring you to death, but this is something that I do think is really important for you to be thinking about. So, have a look at what's out there. Have a think about what you want to do for your options for GCSE, what you want to do for A-levels, what you want to do for degree or apprenticeship or alternative or work, where you want to go. Have those things open to you now. All right, guys, have fun.